Kia ora everyone, I am Joel Dean. I went to Total College in Dannevirke for my entire school years, so year 1 to 13. I graduated in 2018 at the age of 18, and then went on to join the NZ Army, which I've been in now for about 4 years. I want to touch on a few things about the A.C.E curriculum, and I want to start with one of the ones that I think is probably the most important, next to obviously the Christian aspect, and that is the goal cards. That's something that me and a few others, in my high school, we all sort of just took for granted, because it was something that we just did, right? Year ones are learning how to set their own goals, and you just do it the entire time, right? The time of 13 years. Only after I left school and came into the actual army and into the real world, did I realize or understand the importance. Through doing that, it naturally installed in me a discipline and a goal sort of setting mindset of, every day I'm setting myself goals to tick off. And it started with that morning where you set your goals of what you're going to do in your pace, and you cross it off after you finish and you move on to the next. Not only did it teach you SMART goals, but it's also taught you how to set effective goals and how to minimize workload and stress, and to maximize actually learning and retention. It taught you so you weren't just setting either too smaller goals that you're sort of just barely chipping away at the pace and not really getting into the rhythm to learn, and not setting too bigger goals that are unachievable and you can't get through enough in time, or that are frying your brain out, so that once you've done your 10-11 pages of maths and your brain's whizzed out from doing weird algebra equations that you come onto your English, and you can't even focus on the essay or writing the essay or going through the sentences and stuff, because your mind's whizzed out from doing maths. So it taught you how to set effective SMART goals to min-max your actual learning. And I think that's probably the most amazing thing about this curriculum. In other schools, talking to my mates that went through the other schooling systems, that the timetables are given to them at the start. They're going to be in maths class at this time, they're going to be doing this, and this, and it's just, here you go, be there at that time. With us, it was, boom, this is the time of day you have to do all this, and you need to be getting through these paces so that you can finish on time, right, to get those qualifications, to learn, and you got to start setting your goals. And I think around year 10, year 11 is when you actually start to realize how your brain can work, and also your supervisor, your teacher, does a lot of it as well, understanding who you are as a student, and just looking through your past performances and stuff to actually gauge how much you can actually learn and retain, so that you're not burning yourself out, but you're also actually learning the stuff. You're not just going through the motions like I know a lot of my mates who went to other schools did, that sit at the back of the classroom, the teacher would go on about what they're learning, and they'd sort of go through the motions, and then they'd get found out, because when it came to doing the exams at the end of the year, they were rushing to sort of study up all this information and try and learn all this stuff in time to be able to pass these exams. Whereas with A.C.E, you're setting these SMART goals, you're knocking them out of the park, and you're actually learning in an accelerated motion quicker than most other curriculums, so that when it comes to doing those pace tests at the end, it's quick fire, it's boom, yet this. It's not because you're memorizing answers, it's because and you know the formulas, and the actual the actual meat, the actual stuff of the pace, right? Another thing is obviously the Christian aspect. Paces are an amazing way to facilitate and an engaging way to sort of facilitate your relationship and connection with God. I wasn't someone that enjoyed slaving through all the these and thous of the Bible. I found it quite difficult, and so getting into those paces, especially Old Testament and New Testament survey, were an amazing way to sort of facilitate my reading the Bible and learning and connecting with God in a way that actually helped strengthen that bond. Another one would be Christian counseling. I thoroughly recommend and love that pace. It helped you learn to not only solve the problems that myself as a teenager would face, but also my friends and people I know in the Christian way, to actually better help and improve their own mental health and stuff. Convention was an amazing way to sort of connect with guys my own age, Christian guys my own age, and explore and compete healthy competition, put myself up against the best and whatnot. And I thought I was a big person. I loved my sport, everything about my sport. I loved being really fit and active, hence the career I chose. And that was a great way to sort of facilitate that and to sort of break away from regular schoolwork for about a week and a bit. And I travel up to Auckland and compete against the best of them, right? And then obviously go overseas and stuff, and whatnot. So it's just an amazing curriculum, and I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it. The main one is obviously that the honesty and discipline part that goal setting instills in you. It's just I think probably the perfect curriculum, to be fair. But yeah, it really helped me in my chosen career and what I like doing and work, in order to set my own discipline goals to stay physically active and stuff like that. So yeah, sorry I waffled on for a bit there, but yeah, I was Joel, and yeah, God bless, love, peace.
Hi everyone, my name is Judah Huneginawa. I'm from Papua New Guinea. I started my schooling in AOG Kimber Christian Academic when I was 9 years old, and I completed my level 12 when I was 23 years old. It was a tough journey because all my friends have transferred to government school and they have graduated earlier than me. Sometimes I doubted myself, am I going the right direction or not? But looking back now, I'm so grateful for so many things, especially character traits that I've learned in A.C.E. It has built and guided me. After completing my level 12 in A.C.E., I went to a tertiary institution here in Papua New Guinea called National Polytechnic Institute of Papua New Guinea. I graduated with diploma in architectural drafting last year. One thing that I love about A.C.E. is that in every piece we do, it has the Word of God in it. And we are reminded every day about God's Word, and it has contributed a lot to me in my spiritual life. Currently, I'm working as a property officer and a schedule planner with a company called Venture PNG Properties. One of my many highlights in A.C.E. is South Pack 2018. I got to meet A.C.E. family from all around the Pacific in Sydney, Australia. I would encourage you to be part of this exciting Christian education because it will help you grow spiritually and mentally. God bless you.
Bula Vinaka and hello from Fiji. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Andimera Brown, and I will be sharing about some of my experiences in the A.C.E. curriculum. How did it all start? My mom heard from one of her patients about the A.C.E. curriculum, and we had just moved to Nosori, so she thought of moving me to a private school. I had a bit of difficulty in reading and spelling, so someone recommended the school to her. Pastor Corey Mears at that time was running the school. I believe it was his wife who was my mom's patient at that time. I started in class 5, and I only spent 2 years there. And then upon that, my mom wanted to move us to school in Suva, so it was easy for her going to work and dropping us at school and picking us up and so forth. She then heard from another of her patients about another A.C.E. school in Suva. So I was enrolled into Suva Christian Primary School at class 7. And my journey with Suva Christian ended with a year 12 New Zealand certificate. And then I furthered my studies with the Fiji National University. A.C.E. has impacted my life in so many ways. I can recall going to uni, and goal setting was such a major thing for me as I learned it throughout the years. It helped me a lot with uni, setting goals and setting a target to achieve it. I'm so blessed and privileged that I had teachers who believed in me. I remember after I graduated with a year 12 certificate, I was hesitant to go into uni straight away. So I had spoken to my parents about taking a gap year, and they agreed. I then was introduced to something called monitor missions by Mrs. Yee, my principal at that time in high school. I was excited about it. We were ready to go to Cook Islands, and then things changed at the last minute after we were doing our training with one of my good friends, Jeremy Kunikoro. We were then told that Tonga needed us. So I was praying in my heart, and I said, Lord, I don't know why you're sending us to Tonga. I was interested in Cook Islands. But anyways, we went to Tonga for monitor missions. We spent about 6 months in Tonga. And that was another ACE journey that we got to actually share with other children what we learned throughout the years being in an ACE school. Currently, I am employed with Suva Christian Community School. I have come back to give back to the school. I enjoy working with children and the amazing staff of the school. I would also like to thank you for listening. These are only a few points I could bring up in a short time that was given to me. But thank you very much for listening. I pray God's blessings over each and every one of you. Vinakavalevu Modemanda.
Hi everybody, my name is Sherwin and my name is Shelton. We are graduates of the A.C.E curriculum in Indonesia, and we are right now studying in Handong Global University in South Korea. We just entered our third semester and we are sophomores, and we are here to share with you about how A.C.E has benefited us in our university life. So academically speaking, the first thing that I'd like to share is how A.C.E students self-study. Being able to self-study and learning how to self-study allows me to be independent of my academic progress regardless of professors or friends. And we all know that virtually any material and any resource is available on the internet. Anyone can learn anything on the internet now. And for me personally, it allows me to not just academically pursue what I want, but also anything outside academics. It allows me to learn whatever I want by myself. And I think that is a great benefit that I perceive to. And also, although it is very subtle, like people don't exactly notice it, but the act of setting goals every day has really benefited me in my university life. So back in A.C., we take, okay, today I'm gonna do 5 pages from this subject, 10 pages from this subject, and that somewhat has made me gauge myself. You are supposed to be able to measure yourself on how many pages of certain subject you can do in a day. And so in university, we have our academics, we have our ministries, we have our organizations that we serve in, we also have our social life, and just taking all that into consideration, we are able to manage our time much better because we are already used to doing it within a span of like 4 years time. Just being able to set your goals every day. Right now, it's not too much of a difficulty for me to gauge myself and measure. These are the amount of things I can do in a day. And additionally to that is mastery-based learning. So we all know that in PACES we do checkups, and then another checkup, and then one more checkup, and then we do a self-test and a PACE test before moving on to the next topic or the next subject. And for me personally, it allows me to shape the way I learn. And for example, one of the things that I'm doing here in Handong is teaching, being a teacher's assistant, and where I teach my friends and I teach other students. And if I were to only learn things on the surface level, which is only memorization and repetition, I wouldn't be able to teach as well. Whereas now, because of the way I learn and the way I study, is that I learn concepts. I learn and understand the concepts all the way from the basics, and allowed me not to just learn for myself well, but also be able to translate those ideas to my friends better. And then the way that when they learn the fundamentals, they can also move forward regardless of other people and the people around them. Right. And of course, A.C. is incomplete without convention.
Yes.
And so, convention has, in addition to being able to set my goals every day, convention is it opens your exposure to so many things. We can do photography, we do music, we do Bible memorizations, academics, sports, woodworking, all kinds of things. And how it translates to my university life is that when we prepare for all those events in convention, we need to be able to manage our time well as well. And so, being able to manage all those things at the same time has allowed me in university manage my academics, like what the 4 things that I mentioned just now. And like for example, we have our academics, and I'm also serving in children's ministry in school. I'm in the church, and I also serve in the Carmichael Praise Team, which is a praise team of our residential college. And I'm also serving as a vice president of the International Student Union. And I can't emphasize enough that being exposed to so many things in convention and needing to manage so many events in convention, I am also able to right now in university manage all those things at the same time. And it's the little things of being capable of gauging myself, measuring myself, and being exposed to so many things in convention. It has helped me in being able to do so many things and contribute and participate in many, many events in my university life. On a more personal level, I guess, convention was where I found my passion. For example, one event that I really liked to do was science engineering, where I once made a chest timer. I also made a self-monitoring water pump system. And one thing that we designed was a metronome for musicians. But traditionally, people use the traditional metronome via audio, or more modern systems use click tracks via their earphones. But we designed a system where instead of audio, it happens via haptic feedback.
Right.
And for example, that is where I really found this is what I wanted to do. This is what I want to do in life. And that's where, even before I came to university, I already knew what I wanted to do. And another part that he also mentioned was that we are in the praise team here. And I am currently leading a praise team. And in convention, I do a lot of singing events and music related events. And it helps me to build that confidence to lead the team and also lead the congregation in worship as I am leading the praise team. I think one of the probably the most important also good factor in A.C.E was that A.C.E is entirely Bible based, and it helps me to learn my values in Christianity, not just on the surface level, not just simply because I'm a Christian, born in a Christian family, I go to a Christian school, therefore I'm a Christian. But I am able to internalize the values of Christianity and the reasons why people would support the Christian faith, and to be able to internalize that and communicate that with other people as well. So when people ask me, why are you Christian? It's not just because I believe in Christianity, but it's also because I learned those values and I'm able to practice those values. Even in A.C.E, for example, the 60 traits of Christ, it allows me to shape who I am today and be able to practice those values as a Christian, not just because I believe in them. I believe there are so many other benefits of being an A.C.E student that we cannot share due to time limitation. But there are many, many other benefits that I think you should be able to experience. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Carl for giving us this opportunity to share our A.C.E experience, and I hope it helps in any decision making process. With that said, thank you, and I hope this helps, and God bless you. God bless you.
Hello, my name is Christopher Hartono. I am an A.C.E graduate. I am currently in my 4th semester of studying accounting in college. I studied with A.C.E curriculum since I was 9 years old as a homeschooler. The best part of using this curriculum was the 7 student conventions I attended. At first, I just tried random events that I thought were easy. However, I quickly found that I like music and platform events. I enjoyed doing the famous speech, preaching, poetry, recitation, and expressive reading. As an autistic, I unconsciously make weird movements, have bad intonations, and wrong pronunciation. But I was motivated to work on these things for student convention. I am very grateful that I've been called to command performance few times in speech, preaching, and music. Performing command performances excited me to develop my talents and while being an inspiration for others. Student convention develops talents that are important for life and future. I often volunteer to be an MC or announcer because I love to speak. I am very thankful for the opportunities I have to contribute to my communities. Now, besides studying accounting, I sell golf tees from online shop. My brother set up the online business 4 years ago. We have done thousands of orders. Though it is not a big business actually, it teaches me a lot about business and accounting. I cannot say thank you enough for A.C.E for the wonderful support to me during my school years. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Esther Shan Pedersen. I have been a student with ACE from the start of my schooling years right through to the very end, so it has shaped who I am today. One of the ways it has done this is through its focus on character development. Not only does it teach you the principles of how to live from the Bible, but it also reinforces these with fun cartoon strips. Ace and Christy and their friends were my role models growing up. Now, in contrast to the more traditional style of teaching, where a teacher will pour content into a class and all the students have to progress at the same speed, ACE adopts a mastery approach to education, which means that students need to grasp a concept to a good standard before they are able to learn the new material. And with this comes a new approach to teaching. So students are given paces and books which they can look into themselves and consult the teacher for further guidance and understanding. And they can progress through these materials at whatever speed they need in order to fully grasp the different concepts. Now, with the high standard for mastery, this really inspires a love of learning for the sake of learning and not just doing things to get by. And also with the more independent style of study, students learn self-discipline and goal setting to help them to achieve the standard. When I transferred from homeschooling to university studies, these skills were really valuable for my success. At university, you're given a lot of content in your lectures, yes, but the expectation is that you'll spend more time at home going over the material, doing your own readings and looking into the matter further. So self-directed learning is important at university, and I was very grateful to have those skills as well. And regarding that high standard, I adopted as my own personal standard, and when I fell short of the A standard at university in some assessments, that provided me feedback to go to my tutor and to figure out where the gaps were in my learning. Because I wasn't satisfied just to pass. I wanted to really understand the concept for the love of learning. And this set me in good stead to graduate with a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music conjoint degree with first class honours. Now, the most memorable years of my schooling were spent at student conventions. At regional, South Pacific and international levels, I met some amazing mentors and made some lifelong friends worldwide. Student convention is a place for you to discover and develop your talents for ministry. There's a category for everyone: arts, craft, academics, athletics, music, drama, media, and I made it a challenge to myself to have a go with something in all the different categories. And sure enough, there were some surprises, some things that I really enjoyed that I didn't know that I would even be interested in. The skills and experiences that I gained from student convention have been really valuable and enriched my life. I have used my creative talents to put together promotional material for church events, and the skills I gained in drama I have used to help make the Bible come alive for children. Now, at convention, I had a go with music composition and arranging, something I'd never done before. And in fact, I loved it so much that I took composition as my major at university. And now I work as a music teacher. So convention helped me find my career too. But not only that, those composition and arranging skills are useful for ministry that my husband and I are part of, Music Camp New Zealand, where I help with putting the music together. The young people come together and are discipled in their walk with God as they practice together, and then this is put into music videos that are shared abroad. The best part of student convention was its emphasis on Bible memory, and encouraging me to learn whole books of the Bible really stored up a bank of verses in my mind so I can make connections between books, and there's a lot in my mind that God can just bring to memory at the moment that it is needed. And spending time in God's Word really enriched my walk with Him. So thank you to those involved with A.C.E and those who poured into me to make me a well-rounded person who loves God and has the skills to serve Him in ministry.
Kia ora, my name is Tiffany and I am from New Zealand. I have been home educated my whole life, and from the age of roughly 11 to 12 years of age I started using the A.C.E curriculum just like my older siblings had been. What I appreciate about the A.C.E curriculum is that I was able to work at my own pace, and I would have some subjects which were at greater levels than others, and just being able to work at a pace that was suitable for me. Biblical education was also really important, and what I loved about it was the character traits as well. Just in the last couple of weeks I've had Romans 12 verse 2 on my heart. Do not conform yourselves to the standards of this world, but let God transform you inwardly by a complete change of your mind. Then you will know what is good and is pleasing to Him and is perfect. Convention, A.C.E student conventions, these have impacted my life hugely. I have attended the local regional conventions and also the South Pacific conventions, and also I got the honour of going to International Student Convention. I have learnt skills that I don't think I would have learnt elsewhere, including public speaking, and I've had people come up to me and say, "Oh, you spoke really well," and I put that down to my convention training. Public speaking is not something that necessarily comes very naturally to me. The friendships I have formed through the A.C.E conventions have, I think, been more genuine than in other circles that I am involved in. I have also found that various different convention events that I had prepared so many years ago have come back to memory when I've needed them, whether it's been a song or a platform event or something. What I do now, I am an independent musician, performer and teacher of Harpeggio Studio. I teach students aged 7 to 70 plus, and I also, with my sister, run an A.C.E music classes for 0 to 5 years of age. I run a health business with an international company that has been around for over 60 years. This is very important at this present time we're going through.
Hi, I'm Alvis Jonathan Sim. I'm currently majoring in mechanical engineering in RWTH Aachen University in Germany. I am an alumnus of Efara Christian School in Batam, Indonesia. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity that I could share my experience with A.C.E and how it has impacted my life positively. Back then, I shifted from conventional school to A.C.E because I want to find a new kind of environment. Gladly, I never regret that decision, and I could have more opportunity to explore myself more and to develop new skills that not all conventional school would provide. One thing that really helped me nowadays are the habit that I developed as a student in A.C.E. Setting my daily goals really helped me to manage my time well. It really helped me to be organized and have a time plan, which really enhances my productivity during the day. Joining convention helped me to develop my inner skills and also talents, but it also helps me to develop my interpersonal skills while I was meeting new friends and new people from other countries and even other cities. This experience really helped me to integrate myself to the society here in Germany. And it also encourages me to be more active in participating all the events in the church and also in the universities. I'm glad that A.C.E had not only supported me and guided me educationally, but also spiritually. All the biblical values that I've learned had shaped me to become the person I am today. It made me to become more independent and also at the same time to be able to work in a teams with a lot of people. I'm so motivated to inspire the younger generations. To God be the glory. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Grant and I learned with A.C.E. Learning with A.C.E gave me a very good Christian grounding for my life, and one of my highlights during my student years was going to convention and developing the skills and gifts that God has given me. The grounding that I got through this Christian education really helped me while going through university, where I gained my Bachelor of Music with honours in viola performance. Coming out of university, I was working as a freelance musician across New Zealand. Then 2020 hit, so I had to pivot slightly, and I felt God was leading me to take on some theology study, and now I work part-time as an intern at my church, and the grounding and skills that I got through the A.C.E education has really helped me every day since.
Hey guys, just want to say a quick hello from sunny Denmark. My name's Tim Chapman, I'm 28 years old, and I grew up in Castlemaine in country Victoria. I went to Olivet Christian College throughout my whole entire school life and went through the A.C.E program. And so just wanted to give you a quick update on where I'm at and some of the things that A.C.E meant for me. So I'm living in Denmark now. 4 years ago, I met a beautiful Danish girl in Melbourne, and through long distance and then eventually getting married 2 years ago, we've ended up living in Copenhagen. And so right now I am working hard on learning Danish, and I'm actually working in a Danish school over here, getting lots of experience talking with kids, and they just talk to you. They don't care if you can't understand the language, and because of that, I'm learning so much from them. But yeah, my parents were teachers at Olivet for my entire childhood, so I got to grow up being a part of school from about the age of 2. I started school very young, and I went to around about 26 conventions over up until now. So that's been such a big part of my life. When it comes to A.C.E though, I'd say one of the biggest things that it's given me is the ability to set goals and goal setting. It's given me such an emphasis on that. I remember setting my goal card each and every Monday morning, and then at the end of the week getting to see all the things that I've ticked off, and getting such a feeling of accomplishment from that. A.C.E gave me so much ownership over my individual learning, and I feel like that's something that is absolutely stuck with me up to now. I'm a big planner now, and I believe a lot of that can be pointed back to the A.C.E program. Also, just the Christian schooling and the emphasis on faith in Jesus and trusting God. I remember Successful Living. I did a series of about 6 or 12 paces in Successful Living, all through the Psalms, and that was just so life-giving for me. Getting to experience the wisdom and how we can apply that to our lives. The other thing was conventions, and absolutely just having my worldview grown through that, to be able to meet up with other A.C.E students from right across Victoria, as well as the South Pacific region, and I also was privileged to get to international convention one time as well, and that was just a really special time across all the different conventions I've been at, to be able to meet friends that I've still got today. I was in Australia just last week and met up with a mate of mine who I met when I was 11 at Victorian State Convention, and just to have people like that I would know every year we would meet up and encourage each other, just have a great time at convention, was super forming in my life, and something that I look back on with great memories. Getting to try my hand at everything from academics to sport to music to preaching to all these different kinds of events. I used to max out 25 every time, and that was just so cool to develop and grow in that environment. So I'm super thankful for that. And the messages at the rallies, I remember being really encouraged and inspired to live for God, and that has stuck with me up to now. I'm so thankful that I get to build church here in Denmark along with my wife, and I really believe that a lot of those messages and experiences I had at convention marked me and just showed me that, wow, living for God can be super exciting and super rewarding. And I'm definitely experiencing the fruit of those times now. So yeah, big greetings from Denmark. Thank you for all that you do, guys. I hope you have a great week together, and I'll say bye for now.
Isaiah 43, in one verse, it tells us all these amazing things that God has done in the past for the Israelites. And then in the next verse, it says to forget the former things. These stories are not an opportunity for students to rest on their laurels, to build them up about the good things they've done, but it's to bring a testimony of the amazing things God can do through us. And we hope that that will be encouragement for you moving forward. If God has done it before, He will do it again.